So, well, moving forward a little bit, but so how long did you work here after you came back in what, 74, the beginning of 74?
Yeah.
When did you come back?
Yeah. At the end of '73, I called Chief and I said, I can't cut this being in business myself. I hate it because it's too distracting. I said, if you hire me back, I'll never leave. And I stayed until 2008 when they.
Yep.
And when they gave me my walking papers, I took all my uniforms off and laid them on the trunk of the car and said, I give them everything I had, and I walked out of there in a t-shirt.
No kidding.
Yeah. That was in Charlotte over there at Yates's deal. Which, I mean, I understand the politics of it all, but but yeah, Chief was. I can't say enough. I mean, if it wasn't for him, I mean, all those races, I feel really good about that, and that was 90% Chief.
Yeah.
Just allowing you to be you.
Let you do your job.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Well, he always told us to be successful, you got to surround yourself with good people. And I think he was one of the good people he surrounded himself with.
There ain't no doubt.
So you were still at home in the Moody's in '69?
Yeah, 68,
and
67.
So you actually met him because he'd come down?
Well, no, but, we ran Pearson in 67. You know that story.
No.
So we run the Andretti deal, me and Jake, with that car that he won Daytona Beach. And we run all the USAC shows, and we run that deal on Canada where you run the rocks off.
So this was Mario.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God. I love him to this day. I love him.
I know you do.
But so we run that deal. We run that deal in Ohio, mid-Ohio. So end of the year comes and it's all over. And Moody, we call him Goose. J.P. Berthelot was a crew chief for Bonnie Long on Hutch's car.
Mm-hmm.
We called him the Gander. Goose and the Gander.
Okay.
Because he was nephew to Moody. So Goose comes over there, Moody comes over there, and he says, I got a guy we're going to try him out. His name's Bobby Ellis. And Bill Holman, who we called the Colonel Hustetler, who worked for Holman, no relation to John Holman.
Okay.
He's the one that if you crashed your Ford at Daytona Beach, he changed the front subframe over there and just jacked the motor up. I mean, this guy was. When you went to change the brake, they were all 9/16 bolts in the upper control arms.
Okay.
The Colonel never backed them off. He just took 2 wrenches and broke them.
Wow.
Oh, he was a bad man.
Wow.
The Colonel, he said, I know this guy, worked with him in Florida. He's a good driver. So we run, I think it was Asheville first, Rockingham, Macon, and Montgomery. And we won Asheville on the river. And we won Rockingham. And that's where Petty's won 10 in a row, 27 in the season. Bobby stopped at 10 in a row.
I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
You were sort of like a good and bad.
Hey, I wore a Bobby Allison t-shirt one time coming to work. Chief said, if you don't take that son of a bitch off, I'll fire you. So I had to take it. And I mean, it was under my uniform deal. You couldn't, you know what I mean? And so yeah, I took it off. Hell. So, but he was tough. Old Bobby was, and so we won. We won those 2 races, and I'm telling you, at Rockingham, and I felt good about that because at Rockingham, if I'm not mistaken, it was still one of my motors. And when Curtis Turner won for first Rockingham race with Woods Brothers 141, that was definitely my motor. So that was.
So you had engine building.
Well, I built engines for almost 8 months, and then they finally said, "You go to Daytona Beach, and you're going to come back. Don't take no clothes." And that's when I was there for 3 weeks, helping to change the transmissions on them GTs when they're shelling them things out of there. Me and Wayne. Oh, geez, he was a jack man on Freddie's car. He worked with Freddie. He worked with Jack Sullivan. He worked with
Freddie McCall.
Yeah, Jaws.
Yeah.
Oh, he was a nice one.
Well, I mean, he didn't he give you the nickname the Yank?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hell, I went to Home and Moody's here about
you're an
3
original Yank.
3 years ago, and I walked in, and the campground, Larry Wallace said, "Yank, you're back." we went to the Darlington deal, that throwback days.
Yes.
They had us all come.
Yes.
And goddamn, I walk in the building, and Cale Yarborough, I'm sitting there, and he said, "Yank."
No kidding.
Yeah. You went with Cale Yarborough over to the house at the lake, and when he took the top off of the fifth, he threw the top away.
Is that
Oh
right?
yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah.
Now, when you was
He taught me how to catch catfish out of
Excuse me.
a race tire.
Oh really?
Yeah. But go ahead.
no, I was just going to ask. I mean, because our other grandfather, Red Myler, he was with.
Yeah, he
was-
worked for Bud.
Yeah, but he was involved with Holman and Moody there earlier in the
It's
'60s.
out of random. He had
See,
a
I
satellite.
was going to talk to Bud more because there was some talk about him running a GT car.
Oh, okay.
See, and that, I was just left from the Can-Am deal, and see, because after that race over there in Le Mans, we were supposed to go run we went back to England over to Alan Mann's. We were going to get them cars ready, and we were going to go run a race in Australia, but there was some kind of a political bullet. That's when I left the trailer at the port of entry. I pulled up there, and the guy says, "The trailer papers are wrong on this trailer." I said, "Just a minute, I'll fix it." And I just went in back there and jacked the trailer down and hooked it, and I drove the car out, and the trailer, as far as I know,
Still there.
sitting there. That's where we were in this hotel, 5 floors. And Wayne Mills was
Okay.
worked for home. And he said, we had a Renault 16 car of the year, first front wheel drive car I ever drove. And you got to understand that this was a big time hotel, and it had a formal entrance with marble stairs. And it had them little short stairs about like this. And so we was already drunk with Alan Mann's, and we'd run over that light in the center of the roundabouts and knocked half the muffler off the car. And so they were lighting firecrackers, and they threw them, but the window wasn't up, and it landed in the floor. So it was all that smoke and everything. And then, so we get to the hotel, and Wayne says, I said, "Where you want to go, Wayne?" He said, "Take you in my room," and we were on the 5th floor. So I'm crawling the car up the stairs and trying to get it in the elevator, but it won't fit. It's too wide. So I hit it a couple times, and it wouldn't go in the elevator. So we backed her down, and I left her on the first landing, because there was nowhere to park. And so every 4 wheels had to get around our car walking out, and that's when home and give me this one right here. He said, "That car better be running race day," because we were bad fast. We just loaded it up on the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And we had this guy Frank Gardner, who was a test pilot or test driver for McLaren, and Ronnie Buckman, I believe it was, or was it McCluskey? That's when they fired the gun, and he jumped in the car, and he come by, and you waited, and you waited, and you waited, and here comes second place. And so that went on for about 6 laps, and Holman was in there, and I go, "Father, how are we running?"
What did he say then?
You mumble, you mumble like
How
a
come
lead.
nobody's ever tapped into these stories?
I don't know.
So, but anyway, he come in the next on 9th lap, and I opened it because you open the door, driver opens the door, and he ain't hooked seatbelts up yet. She run 9 laps on 238 and a half down to Mulsanne. He ain't hooked the belts up yet.
Oh my Lord.
Well, see, they didn't mandate seatbelts until 1965. Graham Hill didn't want to run them. He said, "I don't want to be tied to this bloody thing." No.
Wow.
So they, and when they did, they
That's
just
sobering.
bolted them through the little 30,000 aluminum deal just so they passed inspection. They didn't give a damn what they was up to.
See, I was going to migrate into some of the NASCAR stories, but this.
Well, I mean, there was so many things because Ford spent $26 million to win that race. You realize how much money that was in '65?
Oh, I know. It'd be hundreds of
Spent
millions.
$7,000 a day to run that GT car. I mean, that Can-Am car.
Oh my God.
They were playing the national anthem at Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Jimmy Tucker, did you know him?
I remember the name.
Oh, the Tuckmeister, Navy man. Apparently, Army wouldn't have him. Good guy. We were always teamed up.
Yeah.
Because when we do motors, we would do 4. I do 2, and he'd do 2, and you would be assembling them with 2 speed handles. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
Tucker was me and Tucker worked on the car. You know what I mean? And so we when we went over there and run that 238.5, he was part of that deal. You know, so actually, we brought that car back and going to run it the following year. He cleaned all the bondo, and that took between paint and bondo. That car got 80 pounds lighter. That's how many times it was painted. Because that's an old car.
Wow.
But when they spent that kind of money, I mean, you can't imagine when Holman set that truck up and run all the canvas out. You could park 17 cars under it. And you could get on top, and there was canvas, and there was closed-circuit TVs that you could watch everything. And up front was a lounge, showers, and in the back you had everything you got in the shop: lathe, spin balancer, heliarc, roller, shear, parts, air-equipped parts, all aircraft stuff. And Paul Norris was the guy that drove the truck. And when he's going to the racetrack, run the trailer over a Volkswagen Beetle, mashed it flat, and never stopped. And so we get there, and you got to understand that you're there, and these people are using the facility and the showers and using the bathroom. And this thing, I forget, had a pretty good sized Blackwater tank.
Mm-hmm.
And they told Paul to get rid of that Blackwater, and Paul pulled it right on the Mulsanne straight away and jerked the valve and drove off.
Wow.
Holy smokes.